Hello folks, this is Sula once again. Welcome to another video for Teamfight Tactics. In this game we're going to be looking at a different comp from what I've been playing before. We're going to be seeing a comp that ends up using the electric element and also makes some use of Blademaster in this game. The other big thing I want to highlight in this match is I want to talk about the use of Zephyr. Now you might have seen me using Zephyr in the last video I did, which was an Ocean Mage comp. Managed to get a really crucial Zephyr usage to win that match, although it was kind of off screen. It happened to someone who is facing my ghost, so you didn't get to see that in action. But in this match, we're going to get a chance to see some more Zephyr usage. And I don't want to spoil it, but it turned out to be a really useful item in this match. All right, so here we are starting. We are on a cloud map here at the start. I can see the element right away. I actually won't go for the spatula, but I miss it. And so I'm like, all right, I will go ahead and I will take that Yasuo because this is a cloud map. Yasuo has cloud elements. And he also comes here with a Brawler's Glove, which is quite nice because that provides additional dodge chance as well. The Cloud Hex, if you haven't seen this before, the Cloud Hex provides 20% dodge chance. The Brawler's Glove provides another 10% dodge chance, plus 10% extra critical strike chance. So Yasuo will have 30% dodge chance here. Well, anytime you get a cloud map here in set 2 of Teamfight Tactics Rise of the Elements, it's useful to be thinking about trying to build an Iceborne Gauntlet. This item was nerfed in the most recent patch, in the 9.23 patch, as I record this video, but it is still a very, very good item, and particularly on cloud maps. Iceborne Gauntlet, what the item does is anytime a champion who has Iceborne Gauntlet dodges, it creates a slow field around them that slows the attack speed of anyone nearby, anyone trying to attack the champion. So it was definitely an overpowered item on the first patch for Rise of the Elements, 9.22. It was nerfed a bit here in 9.23. Not as good generally anymore, but very, very good specifically on cloud maps. You want to be trying to make that item on at least one champion, just because you can put it on the champion who starts on the Cloud Hex and they will get a large dodge chance and then be slowing the attack speed of anyone going after them. So it makes for a really nice really nice item to put on tanky champions. Slow down the attack speed of anyone attacking them. So far here, I'm not getting much in the way of items. I am getting a lot of gold, so what you're seeing me do is just kind of fill up the board with different champions. This is actually not a very good starting role here, I'd say, for champions. I think I have one of almost every single one-cost unit in the game. You can see I've got one Vlad, I have one Zyra, I have one Renekton, I have one Kog'Maw. I do have two Maokais. But aside from that, then one Ivern, one Vayne, and one Diana. I'm missing... Who am I missing? I'm missing Nasus, I'm missing Ornn, and I'm missing Warwick. And I think that's it. But I pretty much have one of every single one-cost champion, or very close to it. And that's not good, because the whole idea of the game is to make 2-star units. And generally what you're hoping for at the start of the game is that you're going to get some kind of 2-star unit like that makes some kind of team composition, something that makes sense. And here I end up getting a BF sword. So I am going to make one 2-star unit. I get another Maokai here. And at this point, I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, I guess I'll run the Ivern plus Maokai pairing for Druid. And I guess I'll keep the Yasuo in place just because I'm only one Yasuo away. Yasuo being Cloud Element really does work well on this particular elemental map. So I'm going to go ahead and just level and put in a Diana. No particular plan here, just trying to not lose too much health here in the opening rounds, and hopefully I will get something that makes more sense as the game goes on. So I'm up against Similauze, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and he has ended up picking up, he's actually made 2 items already. He's made the Phantom Dancer, which automatically dodges any critical strike. So you might notice that Yasuo is missing a lot of attacks against that Renekton. And he's also made the big MR item. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's like Dragon's Talon or something like that. Just provides a ton of magic resistance. So we're trying to kill this unit, but unfortunately Renekton is really good at life stealing, and we have just barely enough to kill him. We would not have won that if I had been level 3 instead of level 4. So again, I'm looking at my board here, and I'm still not really seeing anything, and I have not figured out exactly what kind of comp I want to run yet. So I'm just kind of drawing a blank here right now and trying to figure it out. I would love to try to play Ocean Mage again, just because Ocean Mage is really good in this patch. but I'm not finding really anything in the way of mage champs. I guess I have a Vagar here, and I found one Vlad, but like this is not the makings of an Ocean Mage comp, and it's going to take me a little while to figure out what exactly I should be doing with this composition. So I'm just going to hopefully try to figure it out here before I lose too much health. We're up against Jackie Smokes. Jackie Smokes is running a Woodland Druid comp. Again, I should mention this just for anyone who is not playing Teamfight Tactics right now. Druid is a trait that provides health regen to any Druid champs. Like if you look at the Maokai, he is getting a decent amount of health regen, but he is of course losing health faster than he can get it back because he's being attacked by 3 enemy champions. Here I'm selling champs to get up to 10 gold so I can start to bank some of that passive gold income. And yeah, I do not have enough to finish this off. Woodland is the other trait that typically pairs with Druid. Woodland creates a copy of 1 unit at the start of the fight. It does not copy their items, but it does copy that champion. Copies one of the Woodland champs. It won't just get any champ. So Woodland Druid, good in the early game, falls off as the game goes on. You don't want your late game comp, generally speaking, you don't want your late game comp to still be running Woodland Druid, unless you can 3-star the units, which is easier said than done. So once again, I'm looking at the board here, and I'm still not seeing anything that really fits here. It's just champs that are kind of all over the place. I have not made up my mind on where I want to go with this team comp yet, and I need to make up my mind soon because a single 2-star Maokai is not going to be enough for me to keep winning rounds for much longer. This comp, it's beastly. Now he looks like he's going into... Here I'm checking all the other comps. I see other Woodland Druid, I see a Mage Ocean, I see a Berserker comp, I see a lot of Woodland and Druids being played. This particular composition here looks like it is going Mage and Ocean. Looks like you've already got the 3 mages in there. And unfortunately for me, I don't really have much in the way of damage. Like, I'm pretty tanky, but I have very little damage. Diana doing a decent job, but it looks like Talia's going to get off her... Yeah, she's going to manage to get her ult off, and then that leaves me with no damage. Ivern does very little with his auto attack, so I end up losing that one as well. So I've lost 2 of the first 3 rounds, not really surprising since I don't really have any kind of a team here. I have not figured out what I want to be doing yet. And now I need to figure out what I want off of the carousel. So I am going to be picking relatively early because I have lost a couple rounds here. And I'm trying to remember what specifically I was looking to pick. I wouldn't mind getting the spatula, but the spatula's already gone. So at this point I'm like, alright, well, you know what I could get? I can go ahead and pick up that Brawler's Glove here. And I figured the reason why I think I actually made a mistake here. I was planning on going for the Chain Vest. Or I was trying to make Iceborne Gauntlet, and I thought that I had the Chain Vest. I didn't realize I already had the Brawler's Glove, so I kind of grabbed the wrong item, but this would end up working out reasonably well, because you can combine 2 Brawler's Gloves together to make a Thief's Glove, and that's the item that I'm going to end up making right here. So I'm going to sell the Syndra, because I want that Thief's Glove. I was thinking about keeping her, but didn't end up happening, so I'm going to sell this any second now. This is pre-recorded footage. There are no replays for Teamfight Tactics. And so I was actually planning to put that on Yasuo, but I can't put it on him. Note that the Thief's Glove cannot be put on one of the Elemental Hex because Thief Glove occupies all 3 item slots, and because the Cloud Hex takes up one of those slots, I can't put it on Yasuo. So I end up putting it on Diana instead because I've randomly made a 2-star Diana here, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll just put this on Diana, and hopefully she'll roll some decent items, and this will at least be enough to help me stop me from bleeding out too much health here as I continue to try to figure out what my composition is. Unfortunately for me, there is a Kindred on the other team. Kindred has a healing debuff on his auto attacks, or her auto attacks, excuse me, and that plays very poorly with a Woodland Druid setup. Woodland Druid is based on having lots of health regen, but when Kindred gets off her attacks, that stops the healing because of the healing debuff. So that's part of the reason why I lost that comp match so one-sidedly. Also because Mauve there is level 5 to my level 4, and now I'm on a 3-match losing streak. So this is again not great. I really do need to figure something out here before I lose too much health. You can see I'm down near the bottom, and I'm still trying to figure this out on what specifically I want to do. I have been able to save a decent amount of money, but that's about all that I've been able to do thus far. I still have really nothing here, Druid and nothing else. So I think I'm actually going to take out Yasuo. I'm going to put in Volibear plus Ornn, and this is going to give me Electric 2. So let me talk a little bit about Electric. I have not featured Electric in any of my videos thus far. Electric is an element. It is very good early game, and it's very good late game, but it's actually pretty weak in the middle portions of the game. So what Electric does, Electric champions shock nearby enemies whenever they deal or receive a critical strike. So it's whenever you crit the enemy or you get critted by the enemy. And the Electric is kind of weird in the sense that you can make Electric 2 very early on with Volibear plus Ornn. And in fact, getting Volibear plus Ornn can be a way to get your comp through some early stages of the game because Electric does pretty good damage. But then after that, there's no other champions that provide Electric until Zed, who's a 5-cost unit. So, like I said, it's good early, and then if you can get Zed, and in particular if you can get an Electric Lux and get up to Electric 4, it becomes very, very strong. But it is very weak in the mid game because it falls off since there's just no way to get Electric 3 until late in the game. Electric 2 is 70 damage on whenever you deal a critical strike or receive a critical strike. So Electric 2 is 70 damage, Electric 3 is 250 damage, and Electric 4 is 500 damage. Electric 4 is absurd. But you need an Electric Lux to get it. There's no other way to make Electric 4 other than getting an Electric Lux. There's no spatula recipe that will make Electric for your composition. So you can reliably get to Electric 3 if you can find Zed in the late game, but Electric 4 is a rarity that you will only get with an Electric Lux. Here I have mispositioned the Diana. I should have put her in the left corner so she would have jumped to the right corner. Instead, she's attacking the backline Krugs. You can see what a poor job I've done here because we get two of them to like almost dead status without finishing off either one. And once again, we're going to get two of them to almost dead status before we finish one of them off. So this makes the Krug fight closer than it needs to be, but fortunately, I still am going to have enough damage to finish this one off. As far as items, I have gotten a Giant's Belt, and I've also picked up a, a Chain Vast. I don't know why it took me a minute to figure that out. So now we've got the second elemental hex appears. We've got one on the left side, we've got one on the right side, and now I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and make Warmogs just to provide some extra tankiness. I'm going to hold on to the Giant's Belt. I just used the Giant's Belt. I'm going to hold on to the Chain Vest, and I'm going to hopefully look for some kind of item that I can make from it. I did manage to hit Ornn 2-star there, so that's going to help me, but I still am pretty weak here in this comp. I really would like to transition out of the Druid, since I've never been able to find a single Woodlands unit this entire game to pair with it. Just Druid on its own is not all that great. Anyway, we're back to Similauze again, to one of the people I hit earlier in the game, and right now this match is turning into a super duper tank fest. He has something similar to me. He also is running the Druids for the health regen, and we both have Maokai super tanks, and they're both just trying to see who can survive longer. So it looks like my Maokai ended up surviving the super tank battle, and so because of that, I'm able to get my other units over here. We're actually going deep into overtime here, but hopefully Diana can win this. She is going to get her ult off, and it's just her against this Vernekton, but she does still have a Guardian Angel, so it's not quite as close as it looks. Her Guardian Angel did not end up getting proc there, so she would have been able to revive, but I think that I think we're almost out of time there. And here I'm actually going to roll because I didn't like what I see. And at this point I'm like, all right, Kiana, that presents some interesting opportunities. So Kiana, her element changes based on the map. So with this being a cloud map, she is cloud element. And so she is cloud plus assassin. So if I can get her in, I can make cloud here. If I also put that Yasuo in, I decided at the last minute it's better to keep electric in, but I'm getting close to transitioning out of Druid because I think that I can do something here in terms of getting the Cloud element in. Now, Cloud would be really, really nice. Cloud provides global dodge chance. Two Cloud champions is 15% global dodge chance. Everyone gets it, not just the Cloud champions. So 15% extra dodge chance. 3 Cloud champs is 20% extra dodge chance. And then if you can get up to 4 Cloud, it's 30% extra dodge chance. You need a Cloud Lux to be able to get up to the 30% dodge chance, though. Otherwise, otherwise normally you can only make Cloud 3, not Cloud 4. So similar to Electric in that regard. That particular round was not too close. Jackie Smokes has managed to make a Blademaster Nocturne, which is a very popular build right now. And that's going to be a comp I'm going to have to deal with later on. But I do end up making Yasuo 2 here, so this seems like a good time to swap and get my start getting this electric portion of the comp into play. So if I can find one more assassin, I can get the assassin's trait in play. And I do pick up Cloud. I don't have anything other than Cloud. So I'm going to go ahead and level to 6 just to keep Druid in play. But again, Druid, I'm not planning on keeping around much longer. I will be looking to drop Maokai and replace him with another tank unit of some kind. And here I'm going to sell the, what's it called, Vagar, just because I don't see this going into a mage comp here. Just have not gotten mage champions. Doesn't seem like it's going to be a very good fit for this particular setup. Now this match itself is not going great, but watch, the key to It's Beastly's comp is that Ezreal and his backlines, and Diana managed to get on top of him and just burst him down really fast. So that is nice, but unfortunately Predator then kicks in. Once Diana's dead, I have no damage, so this is not going to go well. Maokai can tank. That's his job, to sit there and tank, but he's never going to kill anyone. And he actually gets frozen with the glacial aspect of that comp as well. So I am still not in a particularly great place in this match right now. I haven't really done a whole lot. I'm going to look to pick early on the carousel once again here. And let's see, what am I going to go for? I actually can't remember. Oh, I decided that I wanted to go for the Brawler's Club because that would get me, even though it's on an Ivern, that would get me the Brawler's Glove plus Chain Vest for the Iceborne Gauntlet. And now I need to sell Ivern here. It's actually important I sell this Ivern, because if I don't, I'm going to combine the Iverns together into Ivern 2-star, and Ivern is not the champion I want to make Iceborne Gauntlet on, so I need to sell this unit if I want to avoid having the Iceborne Gauntlet end up on Ivern, which is not what I want. So I'm able to do that there. Also get a little bit of extra gold, and I also have Volibear 2-star. Oh no, actually never mind, I still need one more Volibear. So I need to put this on a champ. I am going to put it on the Yasuo. So now Yasuo is going to be able to dodge like crazy, and I'm going to give him the Warmogs to give him extra tank ability. And then we're going to put Volibear back in to continue with the electric. So Yasuo is now set up to tank. He has the Warmogs for health regen and extra health. He is on the Cloud Hex for extra dodge chance, and he's got the Iceborne Gauntlet, and we have the Cloud trait in effect. So I think he's up to, let's see, 20% for the Cloud, 10% for the Brawler's Club, that's 30. So he's up to 45% dodge chance right now. Watch how many dodges he gets, and he's putting that slow field on all the people in the back there. He also uses his ult on the Kog'Maw, which is really nice. And we're actually going to get the Annie ult there. By the way, apparently I dropped Annie in the comp. I forgot that I did that. So that's going to provide a little bit of extra tankiness as well once we get Tibbers. And so now I'm going to look to see if I can pick up some Inferno here in the comp. I am only one away from Inferno, which would be nice. So that's where you're going to see me pick up the Zyra and the Varus there. I may or may not put them in. We'll see what we get here. But at this point, I realize I'm only one away from having an assassin set up. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just put in Nocturne. That gets us to 3 assassins. So assassins, I haven't featured assassins in any of my Teamfight Tactics videos here in Set 2. So what do assassins do? At the start of combat, assassins leap to the furthest enemy. Assassins get bonus critical strike damage and critical strike chance. If you have 3 assassins, they get 75% more critical strike damage and 10% extra critical strike chance. I can't remember what the base chance to crit is. I think it's either 10 or 20%. Unfortunately, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. But this means that my assassins are going to have an extra 10% chance to crit, and when they do crit, they're going to do much more damage off of those crits. So fortunately, in this for this particular round, Diana rolled a Brawler's Glove and a Infinity Edge, so that gives her more critical strike chance and more critical strike damage. So she's the one doing most of the damage in this fight. We were also able to get our assassins to jump right onto the enemy carries. There goes Yasuo using his ult. And so Diana really carried me through that particular fight. If you're not familiar with Yasuo, what his ult does is Yasuo ults whoever has the most items on the enemy team. That's who he picks out with his ult, and he does the Yasuo ult from standard League of Legends. Anyway, so we've gotten through last couple champion rounds where you're up against other players. Now it's a minion round, and somewhat surprisingly, since I still don't think that this comp is really all that good, I've actually pulled into the top half on health, although it is pretty close here. And I'm going to look to see what items I get here. I would love to get more in the way of Iceborne Gauntlets. Like another Iceborne Gauntlet would be great. I could put a champ on the other Cloud Hex and get another. And I actually get a Chain Vest there, so now if I can find a Brawler's Glove, I would be in good shape there. I could make another Iceborne Gauntlet and use both Cloud Hexes. But as far as damage goes, see, I could make Guardian Angel, but Guardian Angel's not that great anymore. It's been nerfed since set 1, so I'm not going to do that. I don't really have much to put in here. I think I'm just going to toss in Annie because she's just generically a good unit. And now I'm going to look to roll. I'm actually going to find Nocturne 2, and then I'm going to find Volibear 2-star. So looking a lot stronger here. And I need to be thinking about where I'm going to be going with this comp. One thing that I should be thinking about is what my endgame setup is. My endgame setup is going to involve Zed, because Zed is going to allow me to make Electric 3. Like, I'm going to keep Volibear and Ornn in, and if I can get Zed in this comp later on, I can make Electric 3. The other thing I really probably want to do is I really would like to get additional ranks in Blademaster in. And that would suggest that I'd also like to pick up Master Yi later on, since Master Yi is the late game Blademaster. And I also should probably find another Blademaster. So you saw me pick up Sivir there. I actually scrolled past a Sivir earlier and then picked up 2 Sivers. But Sivir, if I put her in, that would make Blademaster. And that would buff up... Who's the Blademaster in my comp? That would buff up Yasuo, because Yasuo is providing Blademaster plus Cloud. Definitely want to keep Yasuo in there. And like I said, I have a potential to get up to, if I could find, for example, a, what's it called? Blade of the Ruined King, which makes someone a Blademaster. I could potentially make Nocturne a Blademaster. That's a very popular thing to do right now. Go 4 Blademasters and make Nocturne a Blademaster. So that would be like Nocturne plus Yasuo plus Sivir plus Master Yi. That would get me to 4 Blademasters. So there's a lot of potential here. And of course, if I could also find a way to get Janna plus Master Yi in, that would make Mystic, and Janna would give me Cloud 3. So like I said, a lot of potential stuff I can make here. I've got different options depending on what I find, but I seem to have found something here with the Assassins. Like, watch the Assassins. They jump right onto the Azir, and they're going to take him out, and then they're going to go after that Vlad next, although Vlad does manage to get off his ult. The Inferno is doing quite a bit of damage. Annie gets her Tibbers off, but it's not enough. Brand gets his ult off, but fortunately we're in a strong enough position that we're able to make it through that okay. So yeah, somewhat surprisingly, now I'm on a 4-game winning streak, and I didn't even feel like my comp was all that great, but getting these 2-star Assassins in, picking up the steal with the Rek'Sai there for Nocturne, has made my comp a lot stronger. And Electric and Cloud still doing a lot of work for me. Excuse me. So right now I'm looking, because I'm in pretty good shape on health, my comp seems to be winning most of these matchups. I'm looking to get to level 8 so I can try to, say, put in Sivir. And I also want to get to higher levels, because the higher my level, the better my chance to find Zed, and the better my chance to find Master Yi. I already have a plan for what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm checking what champs are Blademaster. Blademaster, I guess I should mention what that does. I'm highlighting it there. Blademaster basic attacks have 40% chance to trigger additional attacks against their target. If you have Blademaster 2, it's 40% chance to get 1 extra attack. Blademaster 4 is 40% chance to have 2 extra attacks. I also am pretty well set up to go into late game champions here. I will eventually look to get rid of the Diana and then put the Thief's Gloves on a late game unit. So for example, if I could find a Zed, I could just sell the Diana and put Zed in and just put the Thief's Glove on Zed. Obviously it would be somewhat random what items I get, but odds are I'll get something good, and that will mean I have a strong late game carry. Zed, of course, also making Electric 3 for me. Now, that particular round, I ended up losing. That interrupts, I think, a 4-game win streak. That was someone who did make the Nocturne with Blademaster and had that nice combination going on there. Blademaster meaning Nocturne gets extra attacks, and Nocturne gets those area of effects circular attacks. So I'm going to be picking relatively late here. If you remember, I did pick up that, what is it? I have either a Chain Vest or the Brawler's Glove. I can make the other one to get Iceborne Gauntlet. Instead, though, I pick up the Negatron Cloak, and the idea for that is I can turn it into a Bloodthirster, which is a very good item for Assassins. It's actually not as ideal for Nocturne because he has innate lifesteal anyway, but it's really good on other Assassins. Like, I could potentially look to put Kha'Zix in here later on, and Bloodthirster is a tremendous item on Kha'Zix. Makes it almost impossible for him to die if he's continuously critting the enemy team. So I'm going to look to make that item there. I still have the Chain Vest, so I still can try to find a Brawler's Glove for another Iceborne Gauntlet. And again, you see me just leveling here towards 8. I want to try to get to level 8 as soon as possible, because the sooner I get to level 8, the better the chance of finding those 5-cost units. They only have, I think, 5% odds to show up at level 7, and I think it goes up to... It goes up to something higher. I can't remember. Maybe it's I think it's actually like I think it's 3%, 6%, 15% for the last couple levels. So we're up against a Predator comp here, but Predators don't necessarily do great against assassin-based comps. You see, we jump on the cog and we kill the cog instantly at the start of the fight. And once Cogwell's dead, this composition that Aralara is running just basically runs apart. We also got some really nice steel proc there. Steel causes a unit that they're a steel unit when they drop below 50% health, they become invincible, can't take damage for a few seconds. It is I'm looking for steel. It is 2 seconds of immunity for steel too. So Rek'Sai got those 2 seconds of immunity and did not die. Anyway, so we're gonna go to level 8 here. I'm gonna drop in Sivir. So that gets me Blademaster, and that will buff up Nocturne. Buff up the Yasuo, because Yasuo is my other Blademaster. Give him the extra chance to get an extra attack. Yeah, so Sivir and Yasuo are the Blademasters right now. And of course, having Sivir in the backline just gives me another source of damage. As long as people don't jump on Sivir, then she'll be able to output more DPS from there in the backline. We're up against Scuba Owl here. Scuba Owl is, running a light base comp, so it's what we really want is some kind of healing debuff here. I can't recall if we have any healing debuffs in this particular composition. Gets off a decent redemption, but little Sivir there, little 1-star Sivir in the back lines is still DPSing. We've got Diana there trying to deal with Jax. If we can just kill this Jax, we'll be able to kill the Kindred very easily. The Iceborne Gauntlet was doing some work there. And now we're going to go into overtime. We do manage to kill the Jax. As soon as the Jax is dead, we're definitely going to win. So we do manage to win that round. And inflicted defeat on Scuba Owl. And I actually make Sivir 2-star there, so that's pretty nice as well. And at this point, I need to be going into my late game comp. So we're going to have a minion round here. And that will give us a chance to try to find some more late game units. Again, I'm looking for Kha'Zix here because he's the late game assassin. I'm looking for Master Yi, and I'm looking for Zed in particular. Zed is my #1 most desired unit right now because Zed will make Electric 3, and that will make my comp quite a bit stronger. And then I'll try to figure things out from there in terms of getting other units into the picture. I have a slim chance of 3-star units. I generally don't try to 3-star units just because it's hard to do. I prefer to get to higher levels. And by the way, the Brawler's Glove is very much appreciated. So that's going to be another copy of Iceborne Gauntlet there. I would rather make that than Trap Glove. So I can put this on another unit, and here I'm going to roll. And again, I'm looking for these 5-cost units. I'm going to be able to make Kiana 2-star, so that's nice. I want to keep Kiana in there. And there's a Kha'Zix, so I'm going to look to pick that up. So I'm going to drop the Diana right here. And then I was going to put the Thief's Glove on Kha'Zix. I'm also picking up Janna, but I find a Zed instead. I was like, alright, well, I would rather, between these units, I'd rather put the Zed in and put the Thief's Glove on Zed, and I can reposition him after this, but I want to get the Zed in first. And there's actually another Kha'Zix as well. So now I want to get the Iceborne in play. I'm trying to think about what unit I want to put it on. By the way, right at this point, I'm not really focusing on the enemy team. I'm just focusing on my own team. This is a kind of a scary composition because of the 3-star version of the Aatrox right there. And so we're actually going to lose rather badly to Auto Chess God, largely because he has that 3-star Aatrox Blademaster. We actually did kill the Aatrox, but the Guardian Angel brought him back to life. So pretty scary stuff right there. And I actually find Master Yi as well, so I'm like, alright, I'm trying to stock some of these champs on my bench. I was considering putting in Master Yi here, but I was like, that actually doesn't make anything, so we can go this. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. Let's put the Iceborne on... I think I decided to put it on Volibear, because he's kind of my tank up there in the front lines. And I'm going to put him on the Cloud Hex, so he gets extra dodge chance. And at this point, I was trying to figure out, I was like, I've got one extra assassin. So I do have an assassin that can potentially come out of this comp. And that's something I'm going to have to be thinking about what I want to do. I'm actually realizing, and I'm going to put the Giant's Belt on him too, just so I can make him a little bit tankier. Again, I want him tanking up in the front lines. That's the goal right now. Meanwhile, Zed has rolled some pretty good items here, and that's helping out. Zed's going to form those clones, and that together with the Electric 3 is going to be enough to win this particular round. So that's nice. I was on a minor losing streak there. I'm just holding some champs on the bench, the Master Yi and the Janna. I want to get in play for later on, but I'm going to probably need to be level 9 before I can fit them in. I do want to hold on to Master Yi. And I'm trying to think about how I can get all these champions in. I do want to get to level 9 if at all possible. I just have to watch my health because I can't actually get knocked out of the game. I see Crystal Lux, but that's not going to help me here. Not useful for this particular game. And so I'm continuing to roll here, looking for different units. Nami's not going to be helpful for this game. Would be good for other games. I will pick up the Janna, and that's as far as I want to roll. I don't want to roll down any longer. What I'm going to do in time is I'm going to realize that I can take an assassin out of this comp, and honestly, Nocturne is the one to take out, largely because he doesn't really need the Bloodthirster, and there's no Rek'Sai in this comp to make Nocturne get that Steel buff. I'm not going Steel, so that makes Nocturne not as good. Fortunately, in this match, I dive right on the 2 carries. Like, this was a matchup where my positioning was fantastic. I just jumped onto the Sivir and the Kog'Maw in the back lines. Unfortunately, it was a ghost round because I would have done a ton of damage. I can't recall which comp it was that that was the ghost of, but I would have done a ridiculous amount of damage to that person because like every single champion of mine survived, and we won that pretty easily. Scuba Owl goes out. We're down to 6 players now. I could sell a champion to get up to get over the income amount. Get over 30 and pull in that extra income, but I don't actually want to do that. Now here is where I get a huge break. Note that I find a blade, there's the Blade of the Ruined King on Master Yi. I was like, ooh, I want that. That's the item that I want. But of course it gets grabbed early on. I was like, ah. Well, that would have been nice. That would allow me to get to Blademaster 4. Instead though, I see the items here. I was like, you know what? We're getting into late game. Zephyr would be a pretty nice item to pick up. Let's grab that Zephyr. So Zephyr, what it does is it takes an enemy unit on the other side and it tornadoes them out of the fight. By the way, we did get up over 30 gold. Very nice. Tornadoes them out at the start of the fight for, I believe it's 6 seconds. And you can control which unit it is. And here we get a huge hit. We get Z2 very easily. So I'm going to look to put this Zephyr, and I wasn't exactly sure what unit to put it on. I didn't really have a great unit. So I was like, most people are putting their carries in the top left-hand corner. So why don't I just put this on the Kha'Zix? It will give him additional survivability. He's a little 1-cost unit right now. He doesn't have a lot of health. I'll just put this on him. And it actually works out beautifully because, look, that Ezreal is going to get whoop, taken out at the start of the fight. So yeah, one thing that is really important to remember, you do control who gets Zephyred. It is a mirror reflection of where you position your champ with the Zephyr. Now, that is still not enough to win this fight, by the way, because Auto Chess God's got that 3-star version of, what's his name, of Aatrox. Keep having trouble remembering his name. So it's still not enough to win that fight, but it would have been an even harder loss if I hadn't managed to take that unit out at the start of the fight. So again, I need to get to level 9. I want to find a way to get Master Yi in. And I'm trying to remember if this is when I finally realized that I could take one of these units out. So I would love to get Janna in. Janna would make Cloud 3. I think, and I actually get another Nocturne here. And I think I was trying to realize what units I could take out. And I'm not sure if it's this point or later that I realized that Nocturne is the unit that can come out of this composition. It's not going to be this round, but I am going to take Nocturne out soonish because that allows me to put Janna in. And I do have an extra assassin. I don't actually need 4 assassins. Wow, did you see how fast I killed that Janna on the enemy team? That poor Janna, she just died instantly. Anyway, a lot of electric damage being used here. But that Nocturne, Blademaster Nocturne, still not enough for me to beat this. So I'm unfortunately losing to the top compositions. I've lost to Auto Chess God, and I lost there to, that was Jackie Smokes, even though the name is cut off at the top of the screen. So it looks like at the moment like I'm going to be able to get a top 4 finish, hopefully, but I don't really look like I'm in position to win this match. Like Auto Chess God's going to be out the next time he loses. So like I said, it looks like a top 4 setup, but does not look like a winning setup. At least at the moment. So this is when I was like, all right, I'm not winning these rounds. I need to change something up. Let's put the Bloodthirster on Kha'Zix and put Janna in. That'll give me extra Cloud, so extra dodge chance for everyone. That will help the Iceborne Gauntlets. And I'm going to position Janna over here to try and give Sivir a little bit of extra protection. So now we're going to look to go to level 9. And I need to win a couple more rounds to get there. I think I just need 1 or 2 more rounds to get there, but you can see I'm on a 2-game losing streak. When you're on a losing streak like this, you generally need to do something, because here at the end of the game, I can only lose 2 more rounds and then I'll be done. Like, each time I lose, it's going to cost me at least 10 health, so I probably can only lose 1 more round, and then that's a second loss will just eliminate me from the game. So I don't know 100% if this is better with the Janna, but I think it's better. And this gets me up to 58 gold, so let's go to level 9. And then I can put in Master Yi. Over here, that will add Mystic. And the Mystic, I think, will be a big help. And then you're just going to see me look for additional stuff to put in. I don't have anything here. And no, I'm getting a lot of Zeds, and in fact, a lot of Nocturnes. I might be able to make Nocturne 3-star if I'd stuck with this. But as I said, I generally don't like going for the 3 stars. It's kind of a gamble. And so we're going to look to fight with what we've got here against Aralara. Unfortunately, this time the Zephyr's a miss. Singed is the one unit who cannot be Zephyred, and the Zephyr was triggering on him. Now, the good news is we just kind of destroy this comp really easily regardless. And is it going to be enough damage to eliminate Aralara? It is, actually. So Aralara, unfortunately for him, finishes in 5th place because Auto Chess God did win that particular round. So now it's down to just 4 of us, and at this point I consider the game to be a success. I have managed to make top 4, even though I didn't really know what I was doing earlier on this game. I was just kind of messing around with different comps. So I'm at level 9. At this point, I'm just trying to make... And boy, if I had just kept picking up Zeds, I might have been able to get to Zed 3-star, because I've seen a lot of Zeds. But instead, I'm more interested in trying to 2-star my remaining units. I only have a 1-star Master Yi, and I only have a 1-star Kha'Zix, and it is a higher priority to try and 2-star those units. So this will get me another Zed, and at that point, I'm pretty close to finishing this comp. So here, I don't know who I'm going to be up against. Now I really need to start paying attention to who I'm up against. This is against Simalauze, and I'm going to Zephyr his Kha'Zix out of the fight. Unfortunately, the rest of this comp is still very, very strong. He's got a lot of 3-star units. He even still has that Renekton from very early in the game at 3-star. So we're doing a good job here. This is getting relatively close, but he still has that 3-star. He still has a 2-star Kha'Zix and he has the 3-star Renekton. And I don't have quite enough damage here. Just got the Zed clone and the Kiana, and that Renekton with the super tank items, the Phantom Dancer, plus the Warmogs, is going to knock me down to 13 health. So I'll pick up the Master Yi here, and let's see, I pick up the Master Yi and then sell the Master Yi. I think I was looking for Kha'Zix too here. We see a Crystal Lux, that's not going to be helpful. And there's the Kha'Zix, so I was like, alright, well at least I can get Kha'Zix 2 here. I was thinking that we're down to the final 3, and at this point I'm trying to figure out who I want to use my Zephyr on. I know I'm going to be up against Jackie Smokes because I just hit Simalauze, so I'm going to reposition Kha'Zix so that I Zephyr out that Nocturne, which is the core focus of this comp. So there goes the Nocturne, and I'm hoping that I can win this match with the Nocturne Zephyred out here at the start. So how are things going here? Well, we're getting a lot of static electricity from the static shiv on the enemy team, but things are going better, and we're down to just the Kha'Zix and the Nocturne. Now we do manage to finish off Nocturne, and hey, we win the round and prevent taking damage. So Zephyr, really useful there. I'm able to Zephyr out the enemy team's primary carry, and now we're up for the item carousel again, and I go first because I'm lowest on health, and looky what we've got here. We've got a Blade of the Ruined King, the item I couldn't make earlier because it got grabbed off the carousel. I was like, yes, this is excellent. I'm at 3 Blademasters. If I can put this on someone, I go up to 4 Blademasters, and that is a very, very big deal in terms of buffing up the damage of all my Blademasters. So Yasuo, Master Yi, and who's the third one? Sivir. All of them are useful. So there's going to be Kha'Zix 2-star. Now, ideally, I would put this on Kha'Zix, but I've already filled out Kha'Zix item slot, so I'm going to go for Kiana as the next best option. It's unfortunate that I did put the Zephyr on Kha'Zix. If I had left that item slot open, I could have Blademastered the Kha'Zix as well, and that would have been really nice. So now I'm just looking for Master Yi, because he's the last piece of this comp, and I'm not going to be able to... find anything else, I think, at this stage of the game. Anyways, up against Simalauze last match, so now I'm going to be up against Jackie Smokes. Wait a minute. Was it the other way around? Was I up against Jackie Smokes last time, and now I'm up against Simalauze? I think I was up against Jackie Smokes last time. So I'm going to position to Zephyr out his 3-star Diana at the start of the fight. I don't know if that was the right units to Zephyr out, but that was what I went for. And this match is going well. Note that how Kha'Zix is life-stealing with his Bloodthirster. But now it's down to just Yasuo and Kha'Zix. And it's a 2-on-2 here with that Maokai super tank and with the Renekton super tank. In fact, I probably should have Zephyred out the Renekton because the Renekton is the one unit I'm having the most trouble dealing with. So it's down to just Kha'Zix and Renekton. Renekton's going to win. But because it's down to just 1 unit left, I actually survive instead of dying. And here I make my biggest mistake. See the Electric Lux? I should totally get the Electric Lux. That would make Electric 4. I could sell Ornn and get to Electric 4, but no! I make a mistake and I scroll past it. The problem was I was thinking I couldn't take any units out. That was my mistake. I was like, well, there's nothing I can take out, but I could have taken out Ornn. Ornn isn't doing anything in this comp. Ornn is literally just providing Electric 1. I could have taken the Ornn out, and then I would have gotten Electric 4. I was like, what a mistake. Well, in any case, I did find another Master Yi, so I'm going to lock for that. And I know, since I was just up against Similauze, that this time I'm going to be up against Jackie Smokes. So we're going to Zephyr his Nocturne out of the fight yet again. And with that in place, I think that we're stronger. We did beat him the last time we were up against his comp. So once again, we take down that Nocturne. And once we do that, it's a fairly easy win. And we're down to... So the match is going to continue with just the three of us here. Unfortunately, I'm definitely not going to find that Electric Lux again. So, ooh, man. Could have made things a lot easier on myself if I had gotten that Electric Lux. Oh boy. Yeah. So, as I mentioned, Electric 3... is 270 damage when you crit or receive a crit. Electric 4, 500 damage anytime you crit or receive a crit. So it's like double the damage. And of course, it would get another electric unit in play. I mean, Ornn is just not a strong unit at this point in the game. Ornn's a 1-cost unit. Lux, a 7-cost unit. Would enjoy having Lux lasers flying around the battlefield, but you're not going to get to see it. Instead, we're going to get a red buff here off of the Rift Herald. We're getting very late in the game here for Teamfight Tactics. Stage 6-7. You typically don't see games last this long. But we're going to get a useful item, so I'm going to look to put that on one of my carries. I'm going to look to put that on Master Yi, because the red buff really does work. It really does work better for an auto attacker. Here I was trying to get that stupid Ornn thing off the screen. And I'm going to make Master Yi 2-star as well. So yeah, whereas basic attacks burn the target, deals 20% of the maximum health as true damage, and prevents 80% of healing. And this is pretty key, because if you remember, some of the units on the other enemy team, in particular that Renekton, has all that healing, and if I can red buff, then I can get that healing debuff. In any case, I think that I'm going to be up against Jackie Smokes, I think I'm going to be up against Similauze, because I was just up against Jackie Smokes, but apparently I'm up against Jackie Smokes again. Apparently, because I was up against Jackie Smokes' Ghost, it didn't swap me over to the other player. So I moved the Zephyr, but even though I don't hit the Nocturne, I end up hitting the Kha'Zix. So I still did manage to Zephyr one of the two carries on the enemy team. And that is going to be enough to allow us to win this. Now, that Kha'Zix is dancing around like crazy, but he is going to die eventually. And we get another nice amount of damage onto Jackie Smokes. By the way, Similauze apparently lost to My Ghost. And at this point, there's not really much to do in terms of rolling for units. At this point, I'm not really paying attention to gold or what champs are down there. I am focused solely on positioning. I was just up against Jackie Smoke, so I'm going to be up against Similauze this time, 100%. I need to be very careful in terms of where I position my units. That's much more important than trying to get champions at this point in time. So I want to make sure the Zephyr goes onto a key target. I'm going to look to Zephyr that Diana again, because Diana's got good targets. I was waiting to see if Similauze was going to move those units. He did not, so we're going to Zephyr the Diana 3-star. And now it's just up to seeing how well we do. We do manage to kill the Nami at the start of the fight, and then we kill the Master Yi before Master Yi can get anything off. So by the time Diana gets in this fight, like half the comp is already dead. And my Master Yi, is he still alive? Yes. Master Yi is getting the red buff onto that Renekton, and that is the key to this fight. By putting the healing debuff onto that Renekton, he is not able to heal and be the super tank. And so we actually knocked Similauze out, which was really surprising to me, because I thought Similauze kind of had the best comp here. But I'm able to win on 4 health. And so now it's just down to me and Jackie Smokes. And I'm feeling really confident at this point, because I've actually beaten Jackie Smokes the last 3 times I've hit him. So I'm like, all right, I think I can do this. I think I just need to win 1 more round here. I just want to make sure I can Zephyr that Nocturne out of the fight. The Nocturne or the Kha'Zix. So like he's shifting his units around. But if you look where his Nocturne's standing, his Nocturne is literally standing right where the Zephyr is going to hit this person. So that's really what I need to be focused on. Now I believe that yeah, I mean, that's really all I like to do. I just want to make sure I get that unit out of the fight, because that's the unit I'm most concerned about. So here we go again, round number 4 against Jackie Smokes. And indeed, I'm going to Zephyr his Blademaster Nocturne out of the fight. So by the time his units come back down, I will have already killed pretty much all his carries. It's literally just the Sivir, and then Yasuo ults and takes out the Sivir. And at this point, his comp is just dead. There's nothing left. There's no damage. There's just the 1 Nocturne. who is easily finished off by the rest of my team, and that is going to turn into a victory. So yeah, 4 health, just barely pulled this off. If I had lost even one more round at any point in time throughout the game, that would have been an elimination. But I do pull it off, and I think that really thinking about positioning the Zephyr at the end of that game was super crucial, because I was able to take out one of the key units on the enemy comps in like every single one of those battles. So I was very pleased with how I managed to do that in this particular game. Anyway, though, this was a chance to show a different comp. I do think that electric is a really neat comp to play around with. If you can get the 3 electric, it's really good late game. Like 2 electric will carry you through the early game, and then if you can make 3 electric later on, it becomes quite good. I'm disappointed with myself for not grabbing the electric Lux. That would have been awesome to see. And here on a cloud map, Iceborne Gauntlet is great, and getting the cloud trait for even more dodging is even better. So, like I said, I hope you enjoyed seeing a somewhat different comp here in this video. Until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you're enjoying these Teamfight Tactics videos, and I will see you guys again soon. Take care.